Okay. All right. So I finally made it in from break time. Took a little longer than I anticipated. But like I said, I will deliver. I've come through thus far. I will continue to do so. Now, story I wanted to bring up or mention, I kind of segued into using baseball since that's been a topic of discussion or a toilet that is just keeps getting dumped on. That's baseball. That's how I feel about it. And there are more takes than I thought I had and feelings inside me of why I have this axe to grind with baseball, really. And I kind of went off. I didn't think I was going to go to some places, and I ended up going there. It wasn't even in my mind, in the forefront of my mind when I started. And I ended up going there. I was like, holy shit, Drew, there's more reasons to hate baseball. And these are some outstanding reasons, even better than the ones you started with. So, fuck baseball. I'm sorry. There's some good people out there who don't like hearing my potty mouth. I'm a bit crass, a little rough around the edges. I will get better at that too. Run with me. So, this story, like I said, happened in a baseball setting. So back in about 1994, I think it was, is when the Sonics were playing the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, against Barkley, Dan Marley, and Danny Ainge. So me and my mom, my dad, I believe, and my best friend when I was, that age, 9, 10, whatever, Kenta, we're at the game. My dad, taps on me. He's like, hey, look behind you. He's like, there's Dan Marley and Danny Ainge. And of course, they're like, I'm a hoop head. And this is back in the day when you really had to be a hoop head. You didn't have 2K and just a roster, of buttons push away. You had to watch actual games, the whole games. Okay, ain't no accessible highlights here and there at the click of a button. You want highlights, you had to go to your regional sports or your regional news and wait till the sports came on, ABC, NBC, whatever, or wait for some national stuff, or go to ESPN. But they were the only people back then. So, yeah, I knew who Dan Marley and Danny Ainge were, and so I, of course, being 9 or 10, I gotta go up to him and ask him, hey, are you Dan Marley? I damn well know he's Dan Marley and Danny Ainge. I've just been watching them for the 3 or 4 games now, or however long. They're in town, relaxing, trying to see Ken Griffey Jr. hit his 8th game in a row with a home run. He made it to 7. He never made it to 8, but we were at the game where he could have potentially hit that 8 home run in a row, 8 games in a row. Dan Marley and Danny Ainge were there to see that as well. Fast forward, okay, that was 94. 2 years ago or so, when me and my dad are in Eugene at the, I want to say, the World Championships, the track and field championships. And then, it's not the first time I've been to Eugene. We've done a ton of work down there. My grandma used to work. I've been to Eugene a lot. I was at the Kenny Wheaton game, okay? In the visitor's end zone of all places. So, and my dad lived up in North Eugene in Santa Clara. He went to a Catholic school, but then he ended up going to North Eugene. South Eugene was a powerhouse, I guess, at that time. But he ended up going to North Eugene, which were, more... They were on the outskirts of town. He's talking about Doug Ainge. Yeah, Doug Ainge. Doug and Danny Ainge are from Eugene, Oregon. A lot of people know that. They went to BYU. Doug was a few, 4 or 5 years older than Danny. Danny was, and from what my dad told me, Doug was a lot better athlete. I know he has a lot of football records, I want to say, and or basketball in the state of Oregon, state title. The Ainges were ballers, Eugene ballers, but the older brother was a better athlete. I think he fucked off a bunch. My dad told me a funny story about him coming over one time and just say it was the 70s. You can imagine a lot of Jimi Hendrix playing at the time. Yeah, you know where I'm going. Trying to eat items and objects, I believe my dad said, out of cupboards that weren't necessarily food. Doug Ainge, Danny Ainge, the president of the Utah Jazz right now, I believe. Brother, he passed away. God bless. But yeah, my dad has all these wild stories of Eugene getting kicked out of the... he got kicked out of his frat. What was he do? Oh, you gotta move and get a roommate. What was he get a roommate with? And like, just like, boom, boom, like, boys. Tinker freaking Hatfield. Who's Tinker Hatfield? Tinker Hatfield designed like all those early J's. He went to University of Oregon. He also went to Stanford. No, that was Phil Knight. He went to University of Oregon and studied engineering, I believe. But he ended up designing pretty much all those early Jordans, the Crackle or Elephant Print or whatever. Yeah, that was Tinker Hatfield. Him and my dad were boys, roommates, rented a house after my dad got kicked out of the frat. For not exiting the kitchen and making food. I don't know. College sounds stupid. God. So yeah. I want to, Kenny Wheaton. Kenny Wheaton. Oh, that's a good story. I got that for later. I'm going to save it, though, for the hot fire takes on Front Street. And I'm probably going to wait till after I sleep during the day, recoup some restorative energy, find my zen, my balance, recenter, and deliver you more content.